Welcome back. This is an Aleks training video on interpreting the electron configuration of an atom or an atomic ion. This is actually easier to do backwards, so I'm going to do the third question first and then the second and then the first, because the third question is just piece of cake. It says how many 2s electrons are there in the ion. So this is an ion with a -2 charge. Alright, so if they're asking just for for 2s electrons, I just go up to the 2s electrons and see how many electrons are there. Well, there's 2. There's 2s, there's two 2s electrons in it. Okay, so this will be 2. How many electrons does the whole ion have? Alright, well, it's right in front of you. That's the superscripts. The superscripts are the numbers of electrons in each of these subshells. So you've got 2 in the first subshell, 2 in the second subshell, then the P6 and 2 and 6. So if you add these up, that'll be the number of electrons you've got. So I have 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 2 is 12, plus 6 is 18. So there are 18 electrons. All right. Now, I know that there's 18 electrons, but I also know that it's a -2 charge. Okay, so if it's -2, it means it has 2 extra electrons than it should have. Well, what would be the original number? Well, if it's 18 and has 2 extra, then it must originally been at 16. So if it's originally 16 electrons, then it would have 16 protons because they'd be equal. And when I look at 16, I'm going to have the element sulfur. Okay, so sulfur is the element, and then it's asking to write the chemical symbol for the ion. So it's sulfur, but it's an ion. It's not neutral. It can't just be S. It has to be sulfur 2-. And do you remember when you're making these ion markings, it's going to be 2+ and 2-, and it's not -2, it's 2-, 2 negatives, 2 positives, whatever. Okay, so pretty straightforward question.